Crypto isn't one big casino, it's one big spreadsheet. It's money going in and money going out. Every line is one transaction. It's just one log of all transactions happening across the world. Almost everyone fights over which way the price goes. But the real money is made of how often it moves at all. So stick around because I'll show you exactly how that works. Inside the sheet, there are really three sides you could be on. Side one is just buying, holding, hoping, and waiting for the price to move your way someday. Side 2 is being stuck, walking in place for years and never really going anywhere. And side 3 is where you generate fees the entire time, no matter where the price goes. And that's the exact side I'm going to show you right now. But first, why is something like this even necessary in the first place? It's time to quickly introduce myself. My name is Arno, and in the last couple of years, I've helped change the lives of 200 people. People like you and I, everyday hardworking people that were tired of walking in the same place for ages, tired of always working harder just to earn less. Because in the traditional world, it's super easy to hit this ceiling on your time and effort. I mean, nobody works longer than 24 hours a day, and you can't work harder than your hardest. And when you try to do this, I'm pretty sure your loved ones will notice. So people automatically look for a better way, and that's exactly what I did. Everybody looks for something shiny. We go about stuff like dropshipping, Amazon FBA, faceless pages, YouTube channels, the whole A to Z, and all of them looked super lucrative on paper to me, but what I figured out is that essentially they're just nothing more or less than a second job. Essentially, none of them fix the actual problem that occurs when money actually lands on your bank account. Because the Bank of International Settlements in 2023 actually ran the numbers on people trying to get into crypto on their own. The study showed that 3 out of 4 people that tried this by themselves were losing money. Not 1 out of 4, 3 out of 4. And it wasn't small. The average loss that we are looking at was roughly 48% of what they were putting in, almost half of their entire investment budget. So on every $10,000 invested, roughly $4,800 was gone. And this is not bad luck. This is just trying to get into a new space without the right knowledge and the right guidance at the right time. And here's the part that matters most, because while that money disappeared, it didn't vanish into nothing. The same study found that the whales were selling right before the price was dropping, right at the very minute the small investors were still buying. So basically, the people with the knowledge took the money from the people without it. So if you go in without guidance or proper knowledge, you're gonna hand off your money to the people that actually have those things. So here's the pattern. Every single time when big news hits, whether it is good or bad, 2 things happen at the same time. People lose money and get liquidated trying to trade it, and millions of transactions happen in that same exact moment because millions of people are doing the exact same thing all at once. And that movement itself is exactly what I get paid on, because whether it's bad news, terrible news, good news, panic and emotions create transactions, and those transactions become my income. See, 99% of people that are getting into crypto are just buying, holding, hoping, and waiting for these prices to actually do something. A second group is trading and trying to predict the markets go in some way. And there's a third option almost nobody talks about. You supply some of your own assets so that other buyers and sellers are paying a lower transaction fee. And for doing so, you are generating a cut of those transaction fees they are paying as we speak. And no, your money never leaves your hands. It's always going to be in your own protected wallet without ever needing to be on some shady site, website, or platform. So here's how that practically works. Just paint a simple chart for Bitcoin or Ethereum. That's kind of doing its thing. You set a line on the top, and that's basically telling the market, if we get at this level, I'm happy to take a profit. Whatever I'm having into this position gets to a stable level. That's where the volatile asset turns into a stable asset. You set a line at the bottom, and that's exactly where your position stops earning. So the very minute you go through that line at the bottom is the minute this position is out of business. So as long as the price stays between those lines, those positions are actually printing. And so there's something called backtesting, which is basically looking back at historical data to optimize these positions so they can retain themselves over a long enough time horizon. I'm doing everything to keep this super simple, because if info would be the only answer, then everybody would be a billionaire with a six-pack. So here's what changed things for me. I tried trading with the wrong people and I lost money. Then I traded on my own and I lost money there too. Trading simply was not the right vehicle for me, and I generally didn't want to get glued to a screen all day. When it all clicked for me was the moment when those fees were landing on my wallet, even during the most violent stretches these markets had ever seen. So quick recap, bad headlines create sell orders, Good headlines create buy orders. Either way, both of them are transactional volume and thus income. During COVID, for example, everybody was making money because the banks were cutting the rates, which meant that borrowing money was getting cheaper again. And for that exact reason, you could see how these markets were going all up like crazy. But the minute these actions from the banks and the Feds were stopping, that's exactly when the majority of people stopped making money as well. And that's simply because their entire model depended on the price going up, while mine actually doesn't. Because right now, nearly $60 million are getting printed on an annual basis for and by people within these types of positions. So this is far from saturated. This is the digital ATM model. It's your way to make your money work harder for you as opposed to the entire way around. And the best part, all of this happens without any trading at all in just 2 to 3 hours a week. By the way, if you want to learn more about how this entire model works, there's simply no risk in going down below this video to secure your brainstorm call right now. And by the way, this call happens with myself one-on-one, at least at this point of recording the video, because I don't want anyone to talk to an AI avatar. I don't want anyone to talk to a team member. I genuinely love this craft too much because I know what it feels to get scammed and because I want to prevent the right people, not all people, from losing money to their own mistakes or even worse, the wrong intentions. Fair warning though, most of the people who make it to this call get told that now this is not the right thing at the right time. Because the only catch is that due to the close one-on-one nature of how we work with people, we simply cannot take on everybody to work with. Yet there's simply no risk in going down below this video to secure your brainstorm call right now. Now here's the catch. Trying to do this solo rarely ends well. People land on the right side and make the wrong move, or they land on the wrong side and make the right move. I mean, I've been doing this for almost a decade right now, and it would genuinely surprise me to see somebody hopping in single-handedly to crush these markets right away. Because most people simply apply bull market thinking in the middle of a bear market. And so by the time the bull market arrives, the opportunity is already gone to the mistakes they made before they could even take their shot. And look, there's a cost to changing how you do things, but there's also a cost to standing still. You could go about an entire life until you're old and full of regrets, just thinking about the fact that you could have taken a coach, for example, in the world of fitness, and know that you could have gone your entire life alone, but you didn't do it because something held you back. Same with crypto. Crypto is not that scary. The thing that's scary about crypto is just trying to winging it solo without access to the right knowledge and the right guidance at the right time. And I mean, cautiousness and being skeptical and all that type of stuff is healthy. I would be concerned if you wouldn't be that. But on the other hand side, just using that as your reason to never make a change in your life might lead to getting old with those same types of regrets. So for that exact reason, this is only for people that already hit a ceiling with their time and effort, who are tired of feeling stuck and who want to be able to get a way out while they still have the opportunity and they still are early. By the way, if you enjoyed this video, I recently made a video about how AI agents will eventually make me money throughout time. It should be somewhere on the screen right now, so you can watch it and learn a little bit more. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, just go down below to get those notifications. And this is exactly how you make money, whether the markets go up, down, or sideways, without any trading at all in just 2 to 3 hours a week.